The rules of golf allow us to carry 14 clubs in our golf bag. Why are there so many different kinds to choose from? So when you look at a typical golf bag, got a driver, okay, huge head, got fairway wood, several fairway woods, same type of design but smaller head. Then I have a driving iron. Then I have a regular iron. Then I have wedges. And still even some hybrids. So what the heck? Well, the principle here is all on us doing the same thing, okay? We have 14 clubs in our bag. We do not want to have 14 different golf swings. The amount of practice that we would have to be even decent would be ridiculous. So the principle here is we do the same thing as the golfer. No matter what club I have in my hand, if I set up to this golf ball to hit it, my body should be in the same position. So think about those old Sunday school felt boards where you'd take the characters off and put the animals on. If we did that, if we are standing here and I have my hands in the same place, my body position is going to be the same for every club. As you can see, they're all different lengths, so that's going to depend, or that's going to determine how far away from the ball I stand. My body stays the same. I do not want to take a club and reach out for it or be really close to it. I want to be comfortable. I want to be natural. You could take any club and put it in my hand in that same place, and my body's going to be in the same place. My body will make the same movement each and every time. I will make the club swing back at the angle of which the club is to the ground. So this wedge is much shorter, so the ball is closer. That angle promotes a swing that is just straight back, and the ball or the club comes up and down into the ball. Now, if I were to take my hybrid, I set up the same way. You can see the angle of the club to the ground is much more shallow, so my swing is going to be a little bit more around. But again, my body stays the same, and I take the club back according to the shaft angle. That will produce the way the club was designed. There are very smart people who have designed every one of these golf clubs with the idea that that golfer is going to swing the same way, the club is going to get a different result. So we have our wedges. These designs very much heavily weighted on the bottom. They have some bounce, which we'll talk about in a different video, that will help for what these clubs are designed to do. These clubs are designed for very precise shots. When you use this, you're trying to get the ball as close to the hole as you possibly can. It's heavily weighted to allow that club to dig or blast through the sand or get through the rough. So this club is designed for that ultimate precision. We have our regular irons. Our regular irons, you can see, have a little bit less loft on it compared to the wedge. So these shots are going to be further. They still want to be precise because we are shooting towards the green and we want the ball to stop and land on the green with these. So the irons, you will have anywhere from 4 to 8 irons in your bag depending on your personal preference for the mix. Now, driving iron is a little bit different. You can see a lot less loft, a little bit wider body. That's to give you a little bit more power. This is primarily to be used off of the tee box. This is to get the ball controlled in the fairway. Maybe you have trouble hitting woods. Driving iron might be the answer to control the ball a little bit more off the tee and still get some good yardage. So then you have hybrids. Hybrids are a little step up from an iron. It's got similar loft to an iron, but it has a wide body similar to the woods that will allow a little bit more mass behind to get your off-center shots a little bit further, a little bit more power, a little bit more forgiving. These clubs also give a wider body, harder for the grass to grab onto, so it gets through some light rough a little easier than a fairway wood do for you. Now just to note, these are called woods because pre-1990, 95, these were made of wood. But that's another video for another time. Fairway wood, large bottom on it because this shallow angle, we're going to be coming in more shallow. We're not digging with that shorter club, with that steeper angle. We're going to sweep this off the ground. This big bottom helps us, if we do hit the ground, to just bounce right into the ball and not dig into the turf. These are going to be for distance, but yet control. You use them off the tee, use them in the fairway, wherever you feel comfortable. Then you have the big one, the driver. The longer a club gets, the harder it is to control. The less loft a club has, the harder it is to control. The bigger head a club has, the harder it is to control. So you may be thinking, well, this has the combination of all three. That's exactly right. It is the most difficult club in the bag to hit. It is a great weapon to allow you to get further down the fairway. It will hit it the farthest, but it can also hit it the farthest offline. Control is more important than distance. If you can't control this club, don't hit it. You don't have to hit it. You can hit that fairway wood, the hybrid, the driving iron. For control purposes, they'll still do pretty far. I did a video a while back, I'll link to right here, that what is the difference between a driver and a 3-wood? Is it really worth the risk if you're not controlling it? There's an old saying that goes, you can't make birdie from the tee box, but you can make double bogey. And what that means is just because you hit a good drive doesn't mean you're going to hit a good second shot and a good putt to make a birdie. But one thing you can do, you can make double bogey. You can hit that thing sideways in somebody's backyard, out of bounds. Now you have to re-tee and you're hitting 3. Now you're hoping to make a double bogey. So if you can't control the driver, don't hit it. Then we have putters. That's a video for another time. And when you look at it, you have a bag full of clubs, 14 different clubs, all designed to do something different. The different irons vary about 4 degrees in loft, so that's going to affect how far the ball goes. Practice with all these clubs. Determine how far each club goes for you. You can't just download a list from the internet and say, okay, I'm supposed to hit my 5-iron 150, my 6-iron 160, you know, so on and so forth. You can't do that. You have to make sure that you know how far you hit the club so you know which one to apply in the situation. But as always, your job never changes. You hit the shot with the swing that you use for every club. You let the club dictate how far away from the ball you stand and at which angle you swing that club back. Once you know this, you can start to apply it on the golf course. Have a great time. Enjoy the variety that you can have in your golf bag. It was designed by people knowing that you're going to try to do the same thing. It's the club's job to do that different thing. So until next time, keep practicing and hope to see you on the golf course real soon.